Are you ready, Maury?
I'm ready.
Have you listened to the entirety of the YouTube video?
I didn't listen to the entirety because I had to help my mom with dinner, but I did listen to most of it. I think I remember up until the point where Mudge gave his speech, and then Mary was kind of like, does freedom mean something different here? And then they leave. That's
All right.
that. I think that's the last thing I remember.
Okay. Um, we'll get to the part that you like kind of missed. I think the most important part was the last part that you should definitely watch once we're done today, because it's very hilarious and definitely going to affect you as well.
Okay.
But besides that, you guys had kind of settled down in Korkos, in the inner city, actually, where the buildings are mostly 2 stories high. They kind of build on top of each other, and there are, even in the kind of heart of the city, these 2 levels basically, with walkways in the middle of the houses basically, and that kind of builds the illusion of 2 streets basically on top of each other. And you had very quickly actually refrained from joining the rest of the group in their endeavors for the day, and had gone up to your room, where you currently still are. You have your plant that you brought with you, and it's kind of sitting off to the side a little bit. You so far haven't given it to Zahir yet, but he has given to you the gem of draining for the day.
It's the morning.
It's around late morning. Yes, it's going very close to noon, basically.
All right. Character sheets. I have that.
I imagine that, like, the first part of the morning was just you kind of contemplating the entire situation for most of the time.
She probably just like put everything down and then just kind of like sat on the bed for like an hour, just like thinking, kind of thing.
It doesn't actually take long until someone knocks at your door. And I guess kind of first hesitant, but then you hear a voice that goes, Eloria, are you in there? It's Issa, Budge's sister.
What is it?
I just wanted to talk to you. I kind of got a little request for you.
She's gonna open the door.
You open the door slightly, and you get greeted by an interesting view, because in front of you is standing Issa, and on her arm she is holding a young half-orc girl, and a little bit off to the side, right behind her, kind of clutching to her leg, is another little bit bigger half-orc girl, and she goes, so these are Lodge's kids, and he told me to look after them while they're going along their daily stuff, so I thought I'd just pop by. You seemed a little kind of, I just noticed that something was off, so I thought these 2 could maybe cheer you up a little bit.
Thank you, Issa. Are you gonna stay? Do you want to hang
to be honest, she kind of leans in while kind of holding Diana, the younger one, a little bit away and goes, I don't really know how to take care of kids, to be honest.
Okay. Well, how long do you have them for?
I guess until Mudge comes back, which, to be honest, could be any time. I mean, you don't have to. I just need a little bit counseling, I guess. Just a couple of hours, maybe. Just maybe 1 or 2.
Sure. Action.
All right. She kind of sits down, Diana, the younger one, and goes, so, small one is Diana, and Diana just kind of waves at you, and then headbutts your knee.
Okay.
While the other
Got her
one...
on the head.
Then she points to the other one, and she goes, and this is Xena. And Xena just kind of waves, and you see that in her hand, she actually is holding a dagger. And she goes, hi, you are Ilaria?
I am a good friend of your dad's.
Yeah, you said told us. We are actually here because, like, our mom got imprisoned and dad's looking for her.
Why?
Isa kind of, rubs through Xena's head, hair, and says, well, apparently she was part of some kind of resistance group that shares Mudge's values and, their mothers. And apparently she got arrested for it. They're currently trying to find out more, but until then, I guess we'll just have to wait.
I know that if Mudge sets his mind to anything, he will succeed. So you don't have to worry about your mother.
Xena kind of steps a little forward and goes, Yeah, I've thought that as well, but Mom can also take good care of herself. She's very tough.
Oh, I bet. She birthed you guys, and you guys look very tough. Especially you with the dagger.
Isa told us to leave the Morning Stars at home, so, yeah. And Isa just goes, I bought them the new ones. But I thought maybe you wouldn't want these two flailing around in your room.
Well, you guys are definitely Charcox.
Indeed.
Okay, well, I was gonna go to the market. Do you guys want to join me?
Sure, yes. Is that something that we do with children?
Use that with children, but make sure that you don't lose them.
All right. Yeah. I'll guess each one on one hand?
Yes, I can hold on to one too if you want.
All right. Yeah. Let's do that then. And
Charge of Diana.
All right.
And just like.
Diana actually goes, "Yay, market!" and just immediately starts charging for the stairs.
No.
She is very strong, to say the least, and
you are your father's daughter.
Yeah, and unusually heavy actually as well. So she just kind of pulls you a little bit, like a dog basically, and you kind of head out of the tavern, and kind of make your way outside, and you can see that there are lots and lots of people around outside. The streets are filled basically completely with people moving from one side to the other. There are people dragging carts. There are some people that are actually kind of selling off goods, and there are people that are actually not actual people, but rather these mechanical beings, like you've seen at the outpost. For example, the Stone Defender back there. And there are some guards around, but not too many. And you kind of make your way over to one of the markets around here. There are lots and lots of different markets, and there are different kind of stores that are just set up. But you make your way over to one of the markets, and while you're heading there, Xena kind of turns to you, the older one, and goes, "So, how long have you been traveling with Dad?"
Um, I would say a few months now. I met him up north while I was traveling with um some good friends of mine,
Oh,
and we would go to taverns and make money by
so
entertaining people.
so you kind of left them for Dad?
Came with us.
Oh,
Your dad and I decided to travel together with a friend of his, and we all, as a group, made our way south, and I've just been traveling ever since. Along the way, unfortunately, but that's the way life is.
yeah. Yep. I mean, um, uh, our dad is like, he only comes home sometimes, like maybe once or twice a year. It's sometimes really sad, but I mean, we kind of understand that he can't always be around.
Yeah, I bet. That must be hard on you.
It's fine. It's always fun when he comes back. Like the last time, I think it was last year that he came back and bought us a bag of caltrops, for example, and together we like threw them out in the streets and watched people fall. It was hilarious, to say the least.
What were they?
Caltrops. You know these little things that are like spiky at each end, and when people step on them, they go like ah.
No, I haven't heard of those, but you should warn me if there are any around, okay?
Yeah, sure, I'll do that. And she
I
like,
can't lose my feet.
yeah. You guys make your
She's
way.
gonna ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
No, go
I
ahead.
said she was gonna ask the two girls if there's anything that they want from the market or like want to eat or something.
Uh, yeah. Diana goes, actually, sausages.
Oh my god, you're your father's daughter.
And Xena goes, Diana usually just eats mostly sausages, but we're actually happy with what we have. We got lots of food at home, but I guess if it's a sausage, then I'll take one as well.
Oh, any toys? Anything?
Issa goes, I think we should stop with the toys. They already partially destroyed their own home with the new Morning Star, so...
When you give children toys, it should not be to destroy things. That's
yes,
destructive toys?
I'm sorry, what?
Some non-destructive toys?
I haven't seen any around, but I mean, they're doing really well. I mean, they're really becoming Charcogs.
Yep, I can tell with the sausages stuff.
What exactly are you looking for at the market?
I'm personally looking for any place that sells books or like odd trinkets.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess now a sausage stand.
A sausage stand you find very quickly. There are lots of food vendors that partially deal with meats, and you can very quickly find a sausage. And Issa actually pays for the two of them, so you don't have to worry. And
it's fine.
Yeah. And if you're looking for like small trinkets and stuff like that, there are lots of shops set up all around that sell like small little tokens, for example, or just very much clutter sometimes even. There are smaller stands that actually sell scrolls and gemstones partially. There aren't really many like book sellers around here. There are like cartographers and stuff like that around, but not really people that actually deal in books.
Well, then I'll tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that helps you read faster.
Mm-hmm.
or maybe like a charm or a stone or something. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And if they like, then she'll buy it for them. But that's like her main focus right now.
Okay, something. Okay, yeah. I guess by asking around, you would probably get the gist that if you were looking for something like that, it would be something that would be made for you specifically, and then you would need to go to the Mago Technological University, Kokos.
Right. Then yeah, I would do that.
All right. So after running around, yeah, after running around the market for most of the time, trying to find what you're looking for and eating some sausages by the side, you eventually decide to head out towards the Mago Technological University. As you're making your way over there, it actually is in the very heart of Korkos. And you kind of pass by a very large building that is kind of very intricately designed with lots and lots of pillars and eventually you pass by a small kind of plaza. And what is interesting about this plaza is that as you walk over it, you can see that in the middle of it, there is a hole set up, basically just a large pit. And above this pit, just merely 3 feet above the drop down, there is levitating something. And that something is a large golden armor adorned with multiple candles, actually, that kind of are still lit on it. It looks like this. And it is just levitating there in the middle of this pit, just 3 feet above. And it is sometimes a little bit just very slightly turning. But besides that, it's just like inanimate, basically. And you can see that there are multiple people that are kind of looking at it. Some people are just walking by because they've probably seen it 1,000 times. But just from the looks of it, it is very interesting to look at.
Interesting. Are the girls and Issa with me still?
They're still with you, but if you don't want them to come with you to the university, then you can also tell them to go back to the inn or back to home, basically.
Matter to Ilaria. If they want to come, they can come.
Right.
I just don't know how comfortable they're going to be around books, but...
Yeah, no, Issa just kind of goes, yeah, I guess a book couldn't hurt them, unless it falls from a very high shelf, of course. But
if they've got morning stars, then they'll probably be fine.
Yeah, I guess so. So kind of pass by this plaza and head over to the university. It is a very large door that stands open completely, and beyond that there is a long hall that leads through an archway into an even larger hall that is lined with thousands of bookshelves as large as houses. And some of them are even rotating, and there are scribes and wizards all running around and going after their daily work. And in the middle of it, there is a huge box that is kind of lined with blurred glass on each side and a door on the side. And you're here. You're in the Library of Korkos in the Mago Technological University. It's one of the largest libraries in the entirety of this world. And you've heard many stories about it, but it's even more impressive now that you're actually here.
She's probably gonna try and suppress like a moan of delight and just like look for the first person to ask about this magical stuff that she would need to order for herself.
You just kind of pick a random stranger out of people rushing by you, and you just ask him, and he goes, if you're looking for some kind of direction, you should talk to Sober. He is down there in that blurry box.
All right. Yes, we'll go that way.
All right. You make your way over to the kind of house, the small blurred box, and do you want to knock at the door? Or just head in?
Yeah.
Right. You knock at the door and you hear from inside, "Come in."
Go in.
As you walk in, with the girls and Isa still by your side, you see a very interesting side. A mind flayer sitting in front of you, a illithid, a creature that isn't human in any way and has the kind of head of a squid almost. And in one of its tentacles, he's holding a pen and is kind of writing something down on a piece of paper, and then kind of turns around to you. And you can see that in his hand, he's holding two books that he just kind of puts down onto the table and then turns to you and goes, "What is it?"
Do I know anything about the type of creature he is?
You've probably heard stories. Usually mind flayers are creatures that are kind of, known as pretty bad intergalactic multiversal parasites that try to suck people's brain out. This one doesn't look like he's in any way harmful or doing harm.
All right.
Like, kind of folds his hands together and goes, "So, what is it?"
Sorry, my mom needs something.
Alright, no worries.
God. All right. So he said, "What do you want?" Not just kind of like maybe inch one, like the nearest girl behind her a little bit, or like stand in front of her a little, but just kind of stories or follows and say, "I was told that you can help me with magical items made specifically for someone."
Not me specifically, but I know where to find the people. What kind of item are you looking for exactly?
I'm looking for an item that will help me read much faster than my average pace.
Well, in that case, you should probably look to find Nissa Knucklestamp. She's the Lord of Invention. She should be currently somewhere else, but you can probably talk to one of her apprentices. Her name is Striker Darknews. She's a very talented young girl. You can find her on the second floor in the workshop of Nissa, probably. It is very hard to miss.
Okay, well, thank you. I shall go there immediately.
All right. Please close the door on your way out.
She's gonna go there then and close the door on her way out.
All right. One of the girls actually, like Diana, just runs headfirst into one of the bookshelves, and just one of the bookshelf like pieces just crashes down and like spills books all over the ground. And you just see like the looks of like 80 scribes around you just glaring at you and the girl.
Sorry, she's gonna like pick up Diana and like dust her off and go, "Are you okay?"
He goes, yeah. These books don't really hurt, to be honest.
Father's daughter. She's gonna like put the books back in their correct order and.
All right, yeah. Takes you maybe a couple of minutes, but eventually you kind of set them up. And then you head up a large staircase onto a small balcony that lines the outside wall here. And there is a door that says Workshop with Nissa Knucklestamp. It's very clear indicated what is behind this door. And you kind of open it up and you look inside, and inside there is an amazing workshop setup. It is lining the walls is a vast array of bolts, screws, tools, metal beams, crystals, and glass that is splattered all around the room. And that is also piling up in its corners. And there are blueprints that kind of pile up in the shelves on the walls, completely overflowing. And a ladder actually leads up to a small gallery on another floor, on which the same array of rubble is laying around, basically. And suspended in the air and held by iron chains is a huge iron armor adorned with a multitude of gears. And currently sitting in front of it, currently tightening some screws at the feet of this large metal armor is a girl. And she has this very neatly kind of made blonde hair, and has a breastplate made out of iron on her. And right next to her, there's a multitude of flasks and wrenches, and they are all sticking out of a small leather pouch. She looks like this. And as you come in, she kind of pulls up the goggles that she had on, and kind of turns around and goes, might I help you?
Yes, actually. My name is Ilaria, and she introduces the other three. I was told you could help me with a magical device to be invented specifically for me, but I was just pointed in your direction.
Yeah, sure. What exactly are you looking for? My name is Striker. Striker Darknews. I'm the apprentice to Nissa Knucklestamp. She's an amazing inventor. She's currently in her in the council, so she's not around here. But I can take your request.
That's fine. I'm sure that you could manage. I'm just looking for some item that could maybe help me read faster than my average pace.
Oh.
Or like a stone to hold, or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You're the one who could probably come up with better ideas than me.
Yeah, I think we actually have something around here. Let me look. Nissa's a little bit, messy when it comes to like her workshop, and she starts scrambling through some of the stuff, and Diana and Xena also just start scrambling through stuff. And she goes, Striker goes, no, that's not it. And eventually she finds something and kind of holds it up, and it looks like a kind of very much like a lens, basically. And she comes over and hands it to you and goes, a lens of quick reading. Is that kind of what you're looking for? It's a very mundane and very common item that is not too hard to make. It just lets the words kind of appear a little, easier to read, and will probably increase your reading capacity.
Sure, you're just kind of speculating here.
I'm sorry, what?
Do you know by how much I would be able to read at a faster pace, or you're just kind of speculating with this?
Well, it very much depends on the reader's kind of personal experience beforehand. If you're already a fast reader, then this could probably double your speed, but if you're very unexperienced, Diana runs into another shelf, then you are probably a little worse off with maybe just half as fast. It's very
That's
dependent.
fine. I character. I assume I'm a fast reader.
You're a fast reader, yes, indeed. With this,
is
you would
perfect. Okay.
be very much faster.
Think actually, do you also? This just came up from like somewhere in the back of my head. It's just like something that may be able to help two people be able to hold a conversation over long distances, because I travel around with a number of people, and when we're separated, it's harder to.
I think what you're looking for is a sending stone. It's a very well-known item that is used for communication over long distances. You basically can communicate with anyone on the same plane of existence as long as you're holding one of these stones. I think we have some around here, but let me find two that are corresponding to each other. She like goes off again.
Well, if I can find them in the market or something, like if they're easy to get, then you don't have to bother yourself. I'm just wondering if there's something like that.
They're easy to get, but not that easy to get. They're not something that you just buy on a market. I mean, around here, probably more, maybe on the Lost Market as well. But besides that, I don't think you will just find it around somewhere on a market. We have lots and lots of them here. I think I might be able to find one.
Well, I've got quite a large, probably about 4 others besides me. You would need quite a few.
The problem is the sending stones only come in pairs. You can only communicate with one to the next, and you can't really sync them up to more people. That's kind of the downside.
Probably fine.
So, how many are you looking for? Just 2 or more?
If they come in pairs, then maybe I should get pairs just to be safe, and then my team can decide.
How many did you say?
I would say 4 pairs.
Okay, yeah. All right.
How big are they?
They're palm-sized. You can just hold them. They're basically like a smartphone without any of the apps.
Okay.
It's very much a old Nokia 3310. It's yeah.
Okay.
Just as hard, basically.
If Diana runs past me, I'm gonna grab her by the hand and like hand her off to Issa so she doesn't break anything.
Yeah. Issa just kind of picks her up and kind of puts her on the shoulder, where she starts like trying to grab some blueprints from the shelves behind her shoulders.
But and then she's gonna ask Striker like how much are the glasses and how much is a pair of sending stones?
I'd say since glasses aren't really that expensive at all, and if you're buying 4 pairs of sending stones from us, then I would say you get the glasses for free, and each pair of sending stones for I mean, if I find them, 25 gold pieces per pair. Be 100 gold pieces total.
I can swing it.
Right.
I can swing it.
With that, she like starts scrambling through some more, and eventually kind of finds a small chest and kind of opens it up. You can see that it's kind of lined with velvet on the bottom, and there are a multitude of stones that she kind of starts rummaging through until she eventually comes up with a couple of stones. Actually, 4 pairs of the very much same-looking stones. Each pair looks very equal to the other one. But they're differently colored, so you can kind of understand which one is which. They all look like small faces, though.
Okay.
And she kind of hands them all to you in a small pouch.
Each do they have different like expressions? Because if there's an angry one, I'm gonna give it to Mudge.
They all just have the kind of an open mouth. Besides that, there is not really much of an expression at all.
I'm gonna paint angry eyebrows. Sorry. Anyway, now I'm just thinking about it.
All right.
I'm gonna hand over. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah.
She's gonna hand over the 100 gold pieces.
All right. You're also gonna like paint like eye rings for Zahir's.
I'm gonna give him like the tired eyes. He's gonna have like the blue marks under the eyes.
Yeah.
There's on Mary's. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the other guy though. Anyway.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, she kind of takes them and like kind of goes. Thank you. If you have any other requests, make sure to come by while Nissa's here. She can actually make incredible things, and I'm sure she can always like she always likes to give out little gifts here and there. She like puts the sack of golds into one of the shelves.
All right. Well, perfect. I will back to you then.
Right. Do you want to head out?
She's gonna take Diana's hand and like lead everybody out.
Right. Are you going to look for any books in the library while you're already here?
I'm gonna say that like I was gonna kind of like tell Issa like, okay, I'm just gonna read now, and I don't know if the girls are gonna find that boring. Go off. I think you've kind of learned how to handle them. Just make sure to keep them both within your eyesight.
Issa goes, yeah, I should be fine. And she like holds up one arm where Diana has basically like chomped herself onto her arm with her mouth.
Oh,
and she
God.
goes, girls, say bye to Ilaria. And you just hear a muffled bye. And Xena just kind of hugs your the lower part of your body. Since she's big, but she's like maybe like still half your size. She like hugs you at your waist and kind of goes, "Thank you for playing with us."
I'm gonna hug her back, and maybe just kind of like mouth to Issa, "You should take them home and watch them there."
She mouths back, "The morning stars are at home."
Point.
And then she like takes them away.
Perfect.
What kind of books are you looking for? I remember you sent me a message, and I remember that you were looking for more books on angels and warlocks and patrons and stuff like that.
Yes, but before that, I only said that so that I could send them away. She wants to go back to the market if it's close by and buy a little pouch that like rests on her hip that she can hold all the stones in.
All right. Yeah.
She can keep with her.
All right. So you make your way outside and over to the market, where you easily enough find a pouch for 5 silver pieces.
Like a fanny pack, but it like rests on your hip.
Yeah.
And across your front. But yeah, so I'll just. How much was it?
Just 5 silver pieces. It's not too much handiwork.
I will put those in there, and then I'll go back to the library.
All right. There you're gonna look for those books?
I'm gonna go up to whatever kind of librarian there is, and I'm gonna ask for books on angels, on warlocks, and on liches. Warlocks.
All right. So
there's a lot that I want to know about.
You don't really find a librarian directly, and eventually you kind of understand that you probably need to go to the Mind Flayer again because he seemed to have the most knowledge of the people around here directly, and you kind of ask him for those three topics, and he goes, "Well, we have a lot of books about angels. We have some for warlocks, and the two on liches are right here." And he kind of pats the two books that you saw him put down as you came in. And he goes, "But those are already reserved for a very young half-elf that came in here with his friends a little bit ago."
Wow.
I'm sorry, what?
Drow.
Well, no, he was a half-elf. I'm not quite sure how you guess a drow was here. I haven't seen any drows around here. But he had a very small cat lady with her, and a Gith Yankee that was not very fond of me.
Well, then can I read those books now? And then when he comes to take them, I'll give them to him?
Well,
Here, and read them in your presence.
that would be acceptable.
Okay, then she's gonna do that and read those as quickly as possible.
All right. You're... yeah?
Sorry. She's also gonna change her with alter self.
Okay. In that case, the two books that you're holding in your hand right now, the first one is called The Last Scribes of the Old Empire, and the second one is called Myths of the East. Which one would you like to read first?
I'm sorry, what was the second one called?
Myths of the East.
I'll do Myths of the East first.
Right. You're going to get a small passage out of it. Because reading through it is very boring, to say the least. It's lots and lots of different myths that don't really concern very much about kind of liches, but there's one story that kind of deals with liches, and this is kind of a passage that kind of seems to stick out.
Okay, then next I'm gonna read the other book.
All right.
So I'm reading as fast as possible.
You actually managed to go through the first book in the matter of half an hour. It's quite the thick book, actually. It's about 380 pages that you just rush through, basically, in half an hour. The lens really is doing work for you.
Yeah. Perfect.
And then the second one, this kind of rings a bell because the second one deals with a wizard that had gone through some kind of transformation and came back as a changed man. And apparently he went to this ancient site that was the Temple of Death, which does actually ring a bell because you have heard it being mentioned alongside Zahir's quest to find the Gem of Torture.
Interesting. Okay, and I finished that one?
Yeah. It's a little bit smaller than the other one, and you kind of finished it in, like, you maybe, like, just took an hour in here.
Okay.
Reading.
Then she's gonna hand them back to him and be like, "Thank you, sir."
No problem. You were saying that you were looking for books on warlocks.
Anything to do with a warlock bond with his her?
Yes,
kind of?
I can show you the way through these books. Please follow me. And he kind of goes outside and kind of follow after him. And he leads you to one of the larger bookshelves in the back of the library. and climbs up one of the ladders and eventually comes down with 5 books. Each of them is called warlocks, the patrons that we deal with, and they're numbered from 1 to 5. And he kind of puts them right in front of you onto a table and goes, "Here you go. You don't need to read those in my presence. If you would excuse me now, if you need anything else, I'll be in the box."
Before you go, I'm looking for books on angels and their descendants.
Yes, I can bring you.
Characteristics of things.
I can bring you something for that as well. Give me a minute. You can already start reading. I'll just put them here. With that, he kind of
She's
heads
gonna
off.
like. Yeah, she's gonna start. She's gonna look for the one like about liches mostly, but she'll skim the others.
There are multiple accounts of people taking bonds and pacts with patrons. Sometimes they're fiends, sometimes they're fays, sometimes they're even entities that don't really belong to this world. Sometimes they're creatures from the deep below, the ocean, krakens and dragon turtles even. But eventually you find in the 4th one a passage that describes something about a warlock that apparently went into a bond with a lich.
Oh no, sorry.
Yes, saw it as well.
Oh god. Sorry.
No worries.
Interesting. And does it say do they say anything about how the bond works? Like,
so
can he hear them or like stuff like that?
What you find actually is that as you're skimming through all of the books, the kind of ways on how patrons communicate with the warlocks are very different. There are accounts of warlocks describing their patron to be very open and very close to them. Lots of fey creatures, for example, would stay very close to their warlocks and kind of guide them directly, while fiendish and demonic patrons would usually stay a little bit further away from the warlock and only guiding them through signs or direct tasks that they would assign them. It doesn't really say much about Hishnar's kind of problem here, or how the undead dragon communicated with him, but you can kind of understand that it's a very similar kind of way of very much close to Zahir's communication with his patron. It is very much through omens and very cryptic ways. What you find interesting actually is though that you always find accounts of warlocks renewing the pact with their patrons. It is often described that warlocks have to, after a certain amount of time, renew the pact with their patron, or else lose their their powers, basically.
Okay. Interesting. Does it say any time limit, or it's different for everyone?
It is most of the time, it is 1 or 2 moon cycles, which you guys have already gone through. Like, let me actually take a look here. That's one, and yeah, you're almost through
That would be
2
about 2
moons.
months.
Yeah, you guys would
Yeah.
almost be at the peak of it.
Okay. Saying like about the communication between. Yeah, no, you already said the yeah. All right, then I guess she's gonna skim the last one and then wait for him to come back.
Yeah, but while you were reading, he already like propped down 2 more books about angels onto the table.
He's gonna catch him before he walks off and say, "I'm really sorry. I just have one more question because you seem like a very well-read man, and I just wanted to know if you've ever heard a name before."
Well, yes. Tell me the name.
Remind me out of character. It's Shorkasha, right?
Shokasha, yes.
Have you ever heard the name Shorkasha in any of your reading anywhere? Does it even ring a bell?
He kind of looks off into the distance for a second and then goes, Shokasha. Doesn't ring any bells with me. It is an unusual name. I remember reading a fictional story that had a Shokasha in it. He was a young and very, well, how do you say, naive boy. But besides that, not really.
Was an evil boy?
No, he was very naive. He wasn't evil, he was just very naive. It was fiction, though. It was a story about him becoming a knight and then slaying some sort of wyvern at the top of a tower. It wasn't very good. I would rate it a 3 out of 5, probably.
Can't find that story.
I must say that we usually do not directly incorporate fiction in this library. We are mostly just a very, well, fact-based society here. So if you're looking for a book like that, you should probably look around some of the bookstores in the outer regions.
All right.
He kind of heads off back to the box.
She will skim.
Yep. You skim through
Still
the
stuff.
you skim through the books, and you do not really find out much more than you've already found out through the books that you've read in Baygate. It is lots and lots about angels and their different kind of beings. There are accounts of the gods sending down armies of angels to help the people in the world. There are accounts of only very solitary angels and that kind of work alone, and there are also accounts of angels actually taking different shapes. For example, the shape of a tiger or the shape of a deer. They're very much kind of interchangeable, to say the least. There's also some stuff about the Diva Spark again in there, but not really much more than you already know.
I don't think he brought me any other books, but then I guess she'll leave those books on the table. Someone else can shelve them because she doesn't know where they go. Maybe pull someone aside and ask if there's any like temples to Lonar.
He just kind of is a very small, like brown, head boy, and he just goes, "Well, yeah, we got a Temple of Lonar. It's It's in the south district, though. It's a little bit off from the heart where we currently are.
I just am trying to find it.
Yeah, it's not that hard to find. It's very big. You kind of head out of the library again, and it's nearing late afternoon by now. You make your way through the streets until you eventually leave the heart of the city. And here the houses begin to grow a little bit smaller. They no longer rake up as high as skyscrapers around here. And eventually you find a large plaza in which, in its middle, a large marble temple is sitting. And in front of it, there is a huge well that kind of spans in a kind of U shape around the stairs that lead up to the temple. And it is filled with the clearest water that you've ever seen. As you approach, though, you can already see a couple of people have kind of gathered in front of its temple and are currently very much talking wildly to each other, almost partially screaming.
Okay, is there something specific I'm overhearing about?
They're very much shouting at each other what appears to be about the coming doom, whatever that may mean. And as you come closer, one of the people actually kind of looks over at you and he goes, I'm sorry. Who are you? What are you doing around here?
Sidestep the whole group and get into the temple. So she probably jumps being caught off guard. I'm looking for a priest or someone I can talk to. About
Well, you seem to have found one. And he kind of points at himself. You can see he has this very thick beard, and besides that, also has very short and neatly done hair, and a very large nose and kind of fallen in eyes. He looks like this and he goes, "My name is Severin. I am one of the head priests of the Lona temple around here."
Okay. Was he one of the people shouting outside?
He was not. He seemed to have caught you, especially because he was not screaming.
Then she's gonna say, okay, that's perfect. Can I talk to you privately somewhere?
We're currently having a little bit of a crisis situation.
Somewhat about information.
Well, I guess I can spare a second. They're not gonna calm down anytime soon. Let's go inside. And he leads you inside the temple. And you're greeted by a amazing sight. There are large tapestries made out of velvet, kind of flowing on each side of the hallway that leads into a large circular chamber here. It is all in this very deep blue to very light blue, and it all bears designs of moons and stars. And as you head into the circular chamber with Severin, you can see that standing in the middle of that circular chamber is the statue of a giant lion, a giant tiger, I'm sorry. A giant tiger that is made completely out of black marble, and its stripes are made of this blue, vibrant light that seems to pulsate.
She's gonna, as they're passing it, she's gonna go, "Why a tiger?"
What did you ask?
As they pass it, she's gonna go, "Why a tiger? Am I
Well,
missing something?"
well, it is told that a couple of 100 years ago, the goddess Lonar sent down an angel to Korkos that took the form of this lion, and he brought peace, love to the city that was then still named Xol. And
Name
since
what?
then, it was named Xol, the city. Korkos was renamed after Korkos took over. Well, kind of ironic, isn't it? But back then, the tiger was a sign of peace and freedom, and it has been standing around here since. It's of course not the actual tiger, but it is still very beautiful, don't you think?
It's gorgeous.
Well, what did you want to talk to me about?
Well, I'm actually just trying to find some answers about myself.
Answers about yourself?
So my name is Ilaria, and I come from north of here, and I'm half moon elf.
Yes.
I was just wondering, because my sister said something funny, and I don't really understand it, and I've been trying to research it, and it's not helping because I can't find any new information on it. She said that we're part angel or we're descended from angels, and water glow in the moonlight, and I don't think that's normal for most people. They're really like pure and clear, and I'm just wondering if you have any like answers or anything you could tell me, because I'm kind of like a little freaked out by it. I don't know what's going on.
He looks very concerned at you. For a second, he's very quiet, and then eventually goes, "Were you angry with your sister in recent times, Ilaria?"
Yeah, I have been. Why?
There is this story. It's an old story. But many believe it to be true. They say that once two sisters had something called the Diva Spark in them. It made them better, stronger, heart angel, so they called it. They were direct descendants of the children of the moon. I don't know if you're familiar with your heritage, but if
She said that we were.
well, if that's true, then and you have these abilities, then I mean, please, I have to see it for myself. Is there a way that you? Oh no, shit. The problem.
I can come tonight and show you in the moonlight.
I guess this is where we run into a problem. I don't know if you noticed yet. The problem is the reason why everyone's outside is so upset is that the moon is missing. So are the stars. Can't find them.
Wait, what?
The nights have been dark. We didn't notice it at first because it was raining all the night, but the last 2 days, the moon has been gone. You come at a very interesting time, Ilaria. I did not expect you. I did not expect to hear of this.
I guess I'll do anything I can to help, but I still don't understand how the moon just leaves.
If you are a direct descendant of the children of the moon, and you do actually have that Diva Spark inside of you, you are a vital part to bringing the moon's power back, Ilaria.
Sacrifice me though, are you? Because that would
no
be a damper.
There's no such thing as sacrificing. child of the moon, and would probably just upset Lonar completely. Would probably perish immediately.
But yeah, I'll do anything I can to help. If you need me to come tonight, I'm
This is
probably
not something that we can easily do in a night. You said your sister told you about this?
Yeah, she's got the same abilities as I do.
I can tell you something. There are 3 sparks of the moon. There is the new moon spark, the spark that belongs to the person that Lonar deems worthy of new beginnings. There is the full moon spark, the spark that is full of light and love. And then the third one is the eclipse spark. It is a spark that is able to destroy if it wants.
My sister said that our mom could do the same thing. Did she, or was that a memory I had?
She said that your mother had the ability to do it. Yes.
Well, she's gonna kind of try and remember that, but she's gonna say, then you may have found all 3 because I can do it, my sister can do it, and my mom can do it. These things I've been talking about.
Is your mother the Baroness of the Moon Lake, Laria? Is she called Corpus?
Yeah. Talk about that.
He like breathes in very loudly and then goes, then you must be her runaway daughter. Is that right?
She's got 2 of them, so which one were you referring to?
Well, since you're talking probably about Amaris, then I assume that you've just told me your name, so I assume that you're just one of them. I know that Amaris ran away and you apparently also ran away. Tell me.
It's alive!
Jesus Christ, Nat! We're just finishing up Alaria's prelude here.
Okay.
Yeah.
He goes, there is your mother. She visited me yesterday. She's here.
Following me.
Sorry, what?
I said, God, she's following me. But that was under my breath, and he probably didn't hear that.
Yes, it seems so. But I gotta say, I have no intention of, well, some would call it ratting you out. I think you need to deal with this yourself. I must say, I don't think your mother still has the power of the Diva Spark.
Really?
I have talked to her before. We've known each other for quite some time now. And, well, she doesn't appear to have it for quite some time now. Maybe about 100 years. I remember that she once confessed to me that she lost it at the birth of her last child. Assume that must have been you?
Unless she's keeping a secret from us, then yes.
Well, if it's not her, then we didn't find 3 sparks. But I can already tell you, to return the moon to its full power, we are going to need you and your sister definitely. Or if you can find the 3rd spark, then we can return it again. The thing is, you need the new moon spark and the full moon spark to return the moon to its full power. The eclipse spark is not really part of it. It is the third wheel on that cart.
Okay. Do you know how to tell which is which?
I do not. The the stories that were passed down to me by the priests that came before me tell of immense auras that can surround the holder of the spark.
I
Powers
think I
that.
have.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't think I have that. So.
Well, maybe you just haven't developed it yet. Maybe it
Hmm.
isn't yet complete side of you. The Diva spark takes time to grow and develop itself. You need to travel a lot. The moon loves to travel across the sky, and so is the need in the person carrying the spark. If it's held back, you're cornered into a part of the world where you can't escape. The spark cannot grow.
Hmm.
You never left home. Spark would stay small.
Interesting.
There is a legend that tells that if the two sparks are united again under the tree at the Moon Lake, the moon would shine again in its healing light. Back then, in the stories, the two sisters brought Yarrow and Lily
Oh, good.
to the lake. They brought it as an offering to the goddess Lona. Their sparks united and brought back the light to the sky.
All right. That seems to be my mission now.
Well, it would be great. With the moon gone, the power of our clerical abilities is dwindling. But,
All right.
I mean, do you have arcane powers?
Yes.
I assume you don't draw them from the divine energy of Lonar. Is that right?
No.
Well, then you should be good.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
arcane abilities should still remain with you, because only as clerics are affected by the disappearance of the moon. Lona's power is dwindling. We can no longer heal. We have to rely on Solea's grace, and that, of course, only during the day. Which, of course, is also
Right.
making it problematic since we're currently in a war. But yes.
Weird.
Well, Ilaria.
Well, it may take some time because I don't know where my sister is anymore. I saw her, but now she's gone. So I'll do my best.
It's bad that you don't know where your sister is, but maybe, just maybe, you can find the other spark or your sister. It is one of the two.
Yeah.
You just need to find the other spark, the corresponding spark.
Do you know where my mom is staying? Because she might have some ideas.
As far as I know, she's staying at the Grand Inn, the largest inn in Kurkos. It is very hard to miss. It's actually in the West District, the biggest house there. It stands as high as the towers in the inner heart of the city.
Okay, well, then I'll start there, but I should probably head back to where I'm staying first.
That is probably a good idea. Ilaria, it was a pleasure to meet you. And I hope that you can fulfill this task quickly. Let's hope that you manage to find that other spark. It is for the better for all of us.
All right. Well, I'll do my best. It was nice meeting you too. Out now.
Right.
She kind of just like scampers out.
He like just kind of walks with you outside where the clerics seem to all still be discussing. This time a little bit, quieter. It begins to get very dark outside. You want to head back to the tavern that you're staying at?
I'm probably gonna disguise myself on the way, and then just like there. But if they are, then she's just gonna walk past them as like in a different form and go up to her room.
You arrive there as they're actually not yet there, and then head up into your room without any problems. Oh boy, is it real?
Hey, what's up?
All right, I think we're actually... No, Jesse's still missing. Where's Jesse? Jen, do you know?
Be right back.
Ah, shit. Yeah. Okay, so Jen is AFK. Don't know where Jesse's currently. She already called him. But yeah, just finished up a little prelude with Mori, which was actually longer than I expected, but it was good because it kind of now pans into all of this here. Oh boy, guys. What a last week we had, right? I just want to start off actually by telling you, Billy, what you got from Nissa while you guys were still in the workshop.
Okay.
I think you saw what I sent you on Discord, the small piece of stuff that I sent you, that item that I sent you, the storm
Yeah, I saw.
gauntlet. Yeah. She gave you this thing, basically.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good. It is this kind of silvery gauntlet that kind of fits onto one of your hands and doesn't change anything on your weapons or anything like that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
I also gave UNAT, I think, another item last week that that Nissa told you to give to someone else that might need it. That was the shield. I don't know.
Oh shit! Yes.
Yeah. So I initially intended it for Ilaria to get, but since Mori wasn't here for that, she couldn't get it. So yeah, you just metagaming, handing it off to her because every one of you got something, and she's the last one to receive this.
There you go.
What you guys missed actually was that, and what you're going to find out very quickly is that Ilaria, while you guys were at the council, actually purchased by sending stones for you guys at Nissa Knucklestam's apprentice. So you guys are going to have sending stones from now on, probably.
That's smart. That's good.
Sweet walkie-talkies.
Rocky talkies, please. Oh god. I know we're probably gonna wait just a couple of minutes more to see if Jesse shows up. Probably sleeping in. He's sick and I don't know. Fine. Yeah, Jen is also partially only here because of her work, because they are still changing stuff up. So we'll have to kind of work around that. But yeah, besides that, yeah.